Every now and then, we receive a story that stays with us long after the episode ends. A story so vivid, so deeply unsettling, it makes you question the silence in your own home. Tonight's story comes from a listener named Daniel, a regular guy from Oregon who reached out to us with a confession. Not fiction, not a dream, but something he says actually happened to him last winter. He asked us to share it to warn others. This is Daniel's story, in his own words. We'll call it The Tenant in the Walls. If you're listening to this, it means I'm still alive. For now. My name is Daniel. I'm 34 years old. I live alone in a small, quiet town in rural Oregon. And for the last 6 months, I haven't been truly alone. What I'm about to tell you isn't fiction. It's not a creepypasta or some urban legend. This is my life. This is what's happening to me, right now, as I speak these words into this recorder. And if you've ever felt like something was watching you from the corner of the room, or heard a sound in the walls that couldn't be explained, then you already know the beginning of my story. But you don't know the end. I moved into the house on Hemlock Lane in late autumn. It was one of those places that looked perfect on Zillow, cheap, secluded, surrounded by woods. A writer's dream, I thought. A place to finally finish my novel. The realtor was eager to sell. Too eager, maybe. She didn't mention the last tenant. Just said he left suddenly. No forwarding address. No contact. I didn't ask questions. The rent was low. The house was quiet. Too quiet. The first few weeks were fine. Great even. I wrote every day. Walked the trails behind the house. Slept like the dead. Then the noises started. First it was just scratching. Like a mouse in the walls. I set traps. Checked the attic. Nothing. Then came the whispering. Faint. Indistinct. Like a radio tuned between stations. I only heard it late at night, usually around 3 a.m. I told myself it was the wind, the pipes, my imagination. But one night, I heard it clearly. A voice, a man's voice, saying my name. Daniel. I shot up in bed, heart pounding. I turned on the lights, checked every room. Nothing. No one. But the voice. It sounded close. Too close. Like it was coming from inside the walls. I tried to ignore it. For weeks, I told myself I was overworked, stressed, maybe even hallucinating. But the noises got worse. Tapping, scratching, breathing. One night, I was lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, when I heard a loud thump from the wall behind my headboard. Then another, and another, like something was trying to get out. I couldn't take it anymore. The next day, I went to the hardware store and bought a crowbar. I came home, went to the living room wall, the one that shared the space with the bedroom closet, and I pried open the drywall. First, I saw nothing, just insulation, dust, cobwebs. Then I saw the hand, small, withered, the color of old parchment. It wasn't bones. It was still attached to something. I pulled back more drywall, and I saw him, a man, or what used to be a man, curled into a fetal position inside the wall. His skin was gray and tight over his bones. His eyes were open, staring at me, and he was breathing, shallow, ragged, but breathing. I stumbled back, screamed, but he didn't move, just kept breathing, staring. That's when I noticed the notebook tucked beside him. It was the last tenant's journal. I couldn't call the police. I couldn't explain this. No one would believe me. So I did the only thing I could think of. I took the journal, left the house, drove to a motel, and I read. The journal belonged to a man named Marcus, the last tenant, and his story, it was worse than mine. He wrote about the whispers, the breathing in the walls. He wrote about how he tried to leave, but every time he packed his bags, he'd wake up back in the house, like he never left. He wrote about the thing in the walls, how it wasn't a person. Not anymore. It was a tenant, parasite, fed on fear, on loneliness, on isolation, and it was hungry. The last entry in the journal was dated 6 months ago. It said, "I hear it calling my name now. Sounds like me. I think it's becoming me. If you find this, Don't stay. Don't listen. And whatever you do, don't answer when it calls your name. I closed the journal. My hands were shaking. And then I heard it. A whisper from the motel room wall. Daniel. I ran. I left the motel, drove to the next town, checked into another place, but the whispers followed. I tried staying with friends, family, but every night I'd hear it, scratching, breathing, whispering my name. One night, I woke up in the house on Hemlock Lane. I don't know how I got there. I don't remember driving. I just woke up in my bed like I'd never left, and the scratching in the walls was louder than ever. I tried to burn the house down. I really did. I soaked the walls in gasoline, lit a match, but the fire wouldn't catch. The flames just died, like the house was immune. That's when I realized the truth. This isn't a haunting. It's not a ghost. It's a trap. A living, breathing trap that feeds on people like me. People who are alone. People who no one will miss. And I'm next. I'm recording this from my car. I'm parked outside the house. I don't know why I came back. I think it wants me to. The scratching is louder now. I can hear it even through the car windows. I don't have much time left. If you're listening to this, please, don't ignore the noises in your walls. Don't dismiss the whispers in the dark. And if you ever find a house that's too cheap, too quiet, too good to be true, don't move in. Don't become the next tenant. It's calling me. I have to go back inside. If the story unsettled you, good. It should. Because it's not just a story. It's a warning. Share this episode. Tell your friends. Tell your family. Let them know what's out there. What could be waiting in the walls of their own home. Subscribe to the channel for more true horror stories. Real experiences from real people. Because the more we talk about these things, the less power they have over us. And if you've ever experienced something like this, something you can't explain, leave a comment below. Tell us your story. Let's drag these things into the light together. Because the silence is how they win.